And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Again, I apologize for the delayed start to our cast today, but we're here. We are back, and we have a match. We have a series. We have some StarCraft, and I teased you about Solar versus KungFu coming up, and we are tied up 1-1. I have a lot of regrets. I regret not seeing Game 1 and Game 2, but we are jumping into the ace match, into the finale of this ZvT. And here we go, spawning in the top left hand corner of Amphion, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg representing Team Vitality. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Terran player representing his new team, All Gamers. It is KungFu. Let's go, Papi. And we have seen KungFu and Solo go back and forth in the past. For those who are unaware, KungFu is the number 2 Terran player in China. He might be number 2. That's number 2 only to Oliveira. It's hard to kind of, break out of his shadow, and KungFu has been improving. So to see KungFu in the ace match against Solar, I would say is impressive, but we have seen him take it to Solar in the past. It was in the week of DreamHack Dallas. If you remember, we were casting ESL Asia at the time, and we saw a lot of KungFu versus Solar in that week, just because, if you remember, Solar was at DreamHack Dallas, but he came back home early because he got knocked out early. So Solar took an earlier flight. Because of that, we were able to feature a lot more Solar and KungFu during the ESL Open Cups in that week as well. They faced off many times, and yeah, to see them facing off here again, I'm excited. I'm excited, and we'll see how this all turns out. Now, again, I do not know what happened in Game 1 and Game 2. I'm not privy to that information, but we're here at least for the finale. We're here for the climax, papi. Let's go. How will it end? For now, Hatchcats Pool. Standard opener here from Solar, Hatchcats Pool. Meanwhile, KungFu going for a Rax expand as well. For some context as to the brackets, the winner of this series will face off against Classic. Classic did get the walkover in the first round. Unfortunately, Scarlet was otherwise unavailable, so wasn't able to play, wasn't able to compete, and Classic is lying in wait, and we will follow this series into Classic. That's going to be the plan. That will be the plan, as the first Reaper is moving out across the map. Likewise, across the map, we have Solar just chilling, getting to his own opener, soon to take his third base. SCV is primed in position. As a reminder, here on this map, there's only one real third base, unless we mine through these middle patches. The Reaper does dip in. Meanwhile, Solar on a bit of a mission with that drone. Reaper does go for the middle line, and ooh, what? One drone goes down. Bit of a late gas geyser there at a Solar. Not a bad pickoff already. And we get one drone kill, we get one Ling as well. Meanwhile, the SCV backs the hell off. The Overlord does confirm the SCV, and that is go time for the drone. So very nice movement, really nice scouting out of Solar with his positioning. His third base will not be delayed. I mean, it was delayed, but not any further. We do come back in. Again, thanks to the Overlord, Solar knew it was safe. SCV race back home, and with that, KungFu will rotate around, will confirm the third base being taken, but I'm sure KungFu already content. He got a drone kill, got a Ling kill, he delayed the third, he did so much already with this Reaper, and behind this, we're settling it into a more aggressive opener. What do we see here? What don't we see is a better question. I don't see a third CC. There is no third command center. There's a more aggressive build. It's going to be a straight up 1-1-1. Rax into factory, into a starport. So hyper aggressive. This can lead into a Hellbat push. I'm curious if we throw down an armory with this. This could also, or actually, never mind. We go for the add-on swap. Okay. Interesting. So it's a 1-1-1, but we go for the, I should say, we don't go for the add-on swap. We have the reactor on the Rax. We're not making Hellions, or we're making one at a time. Very interesting that we're prioritizing marine production, getting ready for the eventual drop play, for the eventual medevac. So very interesting here. Again, the Hellion count is going to be that much lower as a result, and we're going to be prioritizing a bit of a marine drop instead, a vanilla marine drop. Meanwhile, behind this, Solar, he's taking up. We see that we're not going to Ling Bane. It's going to be a Roach Warren out of Solar. As we said, Linton's a big shout out to Gnome Chomsky in the chat. Oh my god, for gifting a tier 1 sub to Volts. Thank you so much, Gnome. Thank you. We do appreciate the support. We appreciate the love. Gracias, baby, gracias. And I hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. For now, Drop is moving out across the map, already hunting down one Overlord. Not bad, but the Drop was spotted. Again, Solar, he did spot the drop with the Overlord. He's getting in position. Lings are ready, and the drop won't get much done. At the same time, Hellions do push it on the right-hand side. We're going for the third. We're going for the third base. Thankfully, not much saturation. There's not really much to take advantage of. The drone is forced to morph into a gas geyser. Hellions, they back the hell off. At the same time, Drop does not unload in the main base. Solar does defend, and Solar is going for the lair. We're rushing into our lair, again, heavily reliant on Roach Ravager. I believe KungFu has not seen the tech. Looking at the vision, the tech has not been seen and no roaches have been revealed, so KungFu is in the dark as to what's going on. As, oh my god, we get one SCV kill. Again, one more than we should have really gotten. So very nicely done here by Solar. KungFu slipping up a little bit, allowing the Link to get in, and we get a full scout of the main base, and this looks like the beginning of a 2-base all-in. Still no third CC. The third was already delayed to begin with, and now it's even later here. And yeah, 2-base all-in. We have 2 more racks on the way. We're getting up to a 5-rack setup on 2 bases. Still no third CC in sight. Is a straight up 2-base all-in out of KungFu. This is gonna hit like a truck, and Solar has a piece of the puzzle. Remember, Solar, with that previous Overlord Scout, with the previous Overlord Scout, he did confirm the additional Raxes and the lack of CC. He doesn't know how committed this is. Technically, there could still be a command center on the way, so Solar doesn't have complete information, but he has enough. He has enough to play safe. Like, he should be being tentative when it comes to droning, and Solar, he's gotten up to around 3-base saturation. I would say this is an okay worker count to stop at. Like, I would say 66 drones is the max that we want to stop at, and we need to focus on Roach Ravager. We do need to focus on the Roach Ravager. Meanwhile, KungFu still being active. Someone with the drop play with the Hellions again building up, and here we go. The push is moving out. Now, it looks like this push is going to hit with +1. +1 will finish up just in time as we get across the map. Combat Shields is going to be kicking in a little bit later, but not by too much here, as Combat Shields is almost halfway done. And thankfully, Solar is amassing Roach Ravager. The lack of fourth is a little bit concerning when it comes to Larva, at least. But for the most part, we have not over-droned. We have not focused too much on our economy, and we're getting ready for the push. Now, as a reminder, there are kind of waves, or there are kind of layers to this. +1 is about to kick in. Combat Shield still on the way. Overseer does confirm. And can we drag the Roach Army within range of the tanks? That's the question. As Solar, he's just massing up Roach Ravager. Again, Solar, he did not over-drone. He's not caught with the pants. They're up, papi. Like Solar, he's got a belt on. He's got the suspenders. He's good to go. Solar's not getting caught out, and KungFu, he backs off. KungFu, he retreats. He realizes that he cannot break his opponent. Now, this retreat, the goal of this, other than preserving the army, is, I'm sure, to force Solar to drone. And there we go. Solar is droning. Solar is taking up. Now we can see that because KungFu's retreating, Solar is reading this as an opportunity to be economic and to be greedy. And here we go. 4th base. We're droning. We're throwing down Evo chambers. We're taking up as well. All resources not being spent on an army. So KungFu, he's hoping that maybe Solar becomes too greedy, and then he can catch him off guard. As KungFu is still all in. KungFu is still very much so all in. And now here comes the second wave, or here comes the push once again, but we do confirm this. Going for the tag. Oh, not quite. The boys are being... Let's go! The boys are being pulled. You don't often see this against Zerg players, but KungFu is 100% all in with this. There's no turning back. One way or another, the game is about to end, and Solar, he still has a decent Roach Ravager army. Biles being thrown out. The Medics. Oh my god, that was close. The Biles do not connect. We just stim on in. Yeah, no fear whatsoever here from KungFu. Biles, they take down one medevac. They almost take down a second. Tank volley is going to be going up, but they're not within range. Yeah, the tanks are a little bit too far behind. There are no volleys on the Roach Ravager, but alas, we're slowly breaking through the roaches. We're running out of Marines, running out of medevacs. GG gets called, we run out of steam, and Solar will take the series 2-1. GG. That was an intense game, Papi. That was, oh my god. GG, well played. Solar, again, he played it safe. Remember, he was able to not confirm the all-in, but more or less feel out that something weird was going on, so he cut workers early. He stayed on 3 bases. He droned up to, I think it was like 62, like not even 66. He droned up like around 62, 64, went into and invested heavily into his Roach Ravager. And even though after KungFu backed off, even though Solar was expanding and taking up and droning, by that point he had already kind of surpassed KungFu. By that point the time was up, and the effectiveness of the all-in was getting weaker and weaker as time went on, as Solar was just building up a larger army. There was potential in the all-in. Like, we saw that KungFu did work through most of the roaches. The downside is, of course, that the tanks weren't really helping. The tanks, they killed like 2 queens on the right hand side. Like, they got some volleys off on queens, but they did nothing to the roach ravager. Like, if we were able to make use of the tanks, if they were maybe a little bit farther forward, or if we were able to just take a better fight, then maybe it's a different story. But for the most part, the tanks were a known factor in the all-in, and that made it that much easier for Solar to deal with. Regardless, GG. GG, well played. With that, Solar does advance on, and we have our next series. It's going to be Classic versus Solar in a ZvP. I'm just slipping into some DMs, and make sure I don't get left behind. Just slipping into those DMs, and here we go. We can catch up on the bracket as well. I don't think there's too many updates, but let's switch our scenes over and have a look